I'm going to start off by saying my typical martini preference, if you're in a place where the vermouth is really fresh, I like a 1-to-1 ratio actually. What I found was I wanted to talk about one of my favorite gins, which is Plymouth. I actually prefer a 2-to-1. So I think this is just a little more subtle. It's not as junipery. It's not that classic like Beefeater, Tanqueray kind of style gin. It's a little lighter. So I went with the 2-to-1 today. And so for anybody who's not familiar, this is Plymouth Gin. It's actually its own category of gin, technically. It's the only one in the category. It's a Plymouth Gin. It's a little bit more citrusy. It's I would say a lot of people have like a touch of perceived sweetness to it, but it's delicious. Very, very good stuff. So I'm going to do a 2-to-1. So 2 ounces. All right, I'm going to do 1.5 ounces actually. I got a little glass here, and I'm going to explain why in a second. It's I think that Martini is one of those drinks that is really only good when it's really good and cold. And I know the sort of trend is there's a lot of places where you get that giant 6-ounce Martini glass and they fill it up, 75% of the way, and you have this huge drink. And there's no way you can finish it unless you're chugging it.
Then it's hot by the end.
Yeah, it's hot by the end, and so I like to keep them small. I'd rather order 2 and have them really perfect and cold than to get one big one that's hot by the end. So, and I also do a couple dashes of orange bitters. I also like to spill ice everywhere too. When I'm making mine, I feel like it's much better that way. And like these guys were saying, it's shaken or stirred is a preference. I mean, I like it stirred because I don't like a bunch of beer incorporated into it. I don't want a bunch of ice chips. I think it gives it a better mouthfeel. It's a little more velvety. But some people like, those little ice chips. They kind of like that weird little texture. It's not my thing, but who am I to argue? And then I'm also not a huge olive guy, so I like that. I prefer the lemon peel, especially like I said, the Plymouth Gin is a little bit more citrus sort of oriented. So I think this is a nice pairing. So that's my martini.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Tell us about the glass. Oh, after you drink. About the glass again? Yeah, why you chose that glass?
So these are actually
cool
these are some I have in my house. These were actually my grandmother's glasses. They're old wine glasses. So way back in the day, wine glasses used to be much smaller than they are now. And so if you look in some of the older cocktail books, it'll say a wine glass full of whatever spirit or
They
mixer.
use it as a measuring tool.
They use it as a measuring tool, and you think, well, a wine glass full, it's like this giant thing. Well, it's because they were like that size. So,
Interesting. Wow.
yeah.